Hi, everyone. Welcome to our last January. Can you believe that? Our last January story time. Wow, that went by really, really quickly. We're going to talk about winter today and snow and snowmen. Have you had some snow at your house? We had a big snowstorm in December, didn't we? That was a lot of snow. Let's see, I think we'll start with a snowflake book. All right, let me turn my camera on so you can see the pages. There we go. There you go. The Little Snowflake by Steve Metzler, and illustrations are by Monica Wellington, and this is a Scholastic book. The Little Snowflake. It was a cold winter's day. Up in the sky, the little snowflake was inside a big gray cloud. When I reach the ground, he said, I will be part of the biggest and the best snowman in the whole world. The little snowflakes looked down. It's a long way to go, but I'm brave, said the little snowflake, and he jumped. Falling and tumbling through the sky, the little snowflake saw many other snowflakes swirling and whirling and twirling. Some had simple patterns and some had fancy designs, but all of them had 6 sides. What a beautiful sight, he thought. On the way down, the little snowflake bounced off another snowflake. Move over, buddy, the other snowflake shouted. Watch where you're going. I'm sorry, the little snowflake said. I didn't mean to bump into you. The little snowflake kept falling and falling. Suddenly, he landed on something that had feathers. This can't be the ground, he thought. It's too soft. Looking down, he yelled, oh, it's a goose! What is going to happen to me now? The goose was flying with a lot of other geese. They flew in the shape of a giant V. First, the geese veer left, and then right, and suddenly they began to flap their wings very fast. Oops, the little snowflake suddenly fell off the goose. Here I go again, he said, falling and falling down, down, down. I hope I land in that big meadow over there, the snowflake thought. It will be the perfect spot for children to build a snowman with me in it. Falling and falling down, 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 closer and closer to the ground. Here I come, the little snowflake yelled. Finally, the little snowflake did land in the big meadow, but not on the ground. Oh no, the little snowflake said. I've landed on a big stone. What will happen next? Next to the cardinal. The little snowflake watched as the children began to gather nearby. Let's build a snowman, Anna said. Oh, that's a great idea, Jacob added. Yes, yes, thought the little snowman. That's a really great idea. Anna made a snowball and began to roll it across the snow. The snowball grew bigger and bigger. This snowball is getting too big for me to push by myself, Anna said. Oh, I'll come help you, Greg said. Good job, kids, the little snowflake called out. Don't forget about me. But the little children didn't hear or see the little snowflake. The ball grew so big that Julie and Jacob needed to help roll it. The children pushed the big snowball towards the little snowflake. Oh boy, thought the snowflake. Now they just need to roll that big snowball just over here and pick me up, and then my wish will come true. Before they reached the little snowflake, Anna shouted, "Stop!" "What's going on?" asked Jacob. "Look, there's a stone. Our snowball might break apart if we roll too close to it." "Oh, okay, we'll stop here. Now we need to make the middle part," said Greg. Uh-oh. "I'm still here," the little snowflake cried. And then he sang his song. Look at me. I'm down here on this little stone. Please put me in your snowman and don't leave me here all alone." But nobody heard the little snowflake's song. The little snowflake sadly looked on as Julia, Jacob, and Greg rolled the snowman's middle while Anna rolled a smaller ball for the head. After they stacked the snowballs, Greg said, "It looks really good." "No, it doesn't," the little snowflake said to himself. "It doesn't look good at all." "But our snowman's not finished," Anna said. "It still needs 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth." "And me!" the little snowflake shouted. "Let's use these 2 rocks for eyes," Julia said. "And these little rocks for the mouth," added Jacob. "Here's a carrot stick for the nose," said Greg. "I had an extra one in my lunchbox." "Now it's really done," Anna added. All of the children stood back to take a good look at their snowman. "It still doesn't look right," Julia said. "Something is missing." She looked down and noticed the little snowflake on the big stone. "Look at this. It's a snowflake. And he's here all by himself." The little snowflake began to smile. He couldn't believe the children were looking at him. "Let's use him for our snowman," Greg said. "But where?" Jacob asked. "I know," Julia said, carefully picking up the little snowflake as she placed him on one of the rocks. "He'll be a twinkle in our snowman's eye," she said. And that little snowflake smiled his biggest smile. The children stood back to take another look at their snowman. "Now that's the best snowman in the whole wide world," Anna said. And the other children agreed. And so did little snowflake. See him there in the eye? He was feeling pretty lonely. The little snowflake. How about all I need for a snowman, since we're reading about snowman or snowmen? This was written by Alice Schertle, and illustrations were by Barbara Lavelle, and it's also a Scholastic publication. One small snowflake fluttering down. That's all you need for a snowman. Except two more snowflakes, and 3 snowflakes, 4, 5, 6, and 7,000, 8 million more. You do need a lot of snowflakes to make a snowman. Billions of snowflakes piled in a mound. Pat them and pack them and roll them around into one gigantic ball. I love the illustrations in this book. And that's not all. Oh, and that's all. One big, cold, well-rolled snowflake ball. That's all you need for a snowman. That is a huge ball. Look at the size of the children. Look at the size of the ball. Oh, but there's one little word on this page. except, does that look like a snowman? For a middle-sized ball and a small one, on top of that, you need a hat, a short hat or a tall one. Oh, see, 1, 2, 3. It's harder with these bigger books. Three hand-packed, triple stacked balls of snow. Hat on top where a hat should go, and that's all you need for a snowman. That little word again. Except for, that means there's always one more thing. Oh, a couple of bottle caps, round and flat. You stick them under the snowman's hat. Surprise, a snowman's eyes. That's all you need for the snowman's face. Uh-oh. But what about the middle, an empty space? That's the place where the carrot goes, if a carrot is a snowman's nose. This is almost like a poem book. Lots of rhyming words. But what about clothes? Walnut buttons, 5 in a row, belt in the middle, boots below, a big wool scarf, broom to hold, and mittens in case his hands get cold. Earmuffs, fanny packs, something to read. That's absolutely all you need for a snowman. Oh, look at that. Let's see, I have to turn the book around. I don't know if you'll be able to see that whole page. What if I move the camera up? That is a big snowman. I love it when the book surprises you and does it that way. Uh-oh, look at the sky again. One small snowflake falling, and then there's the snowman, see it? Soft white snowflakes filling the sky, floating down everywhere, piling up high. And that's all you need. Oh, there's 2. For a snowman's friend. The end. It's a fun little read, isn't it? How about we do a finger play, felt story if I had a felt board here. One little snowflake with nothing to do. Along came another one, and now there are 2. Two little snowflakes laughing at me. Along came another one, and now there are 3. 3 little snowflakes looking for some more. Along came another one, and then there were, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 little snowflakes dancing a jive. Along came another one, and now there are, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 little snowflakes having so much fun. Uh-oh. But out comes the sun. What does the sun do to snowflakes? And now there are none. What does snow do? What does the sun do to snow? Snow gets warm. What happens to it? It melts. Let's see, should we do one more? I have two more, but I don't know if we'll get through them. Bear has a story to tell. This is written by Philip Stead and Erin Stead. And this is a Neil Porter book by Roaring Brook Press. It was almost winter, and Bear was getting sleepy. But first, Bear had a story to tell. Mouse, would you like to hear a story? Asked Bear with a yawn. I'm so sorry, Bear, said Mouse, but it's almost winter and I have many seeds to gather. Bear helped Mouse find seeds on the forest floor. When they were finished, Mouse said, "See you soon," and tunneled underground to wait for spring. Bear took slow, sleepy steps through the forest. Fallen leaves crunched under his feet. "Hello, Duck," said Bear, sitting down to rest on his tired legs. "Would you like to hear a story?" "I'm sorry, Bear," said Duck, "but it's almost winter, quack, quack, and I am getting ready to fly south. Quack, quack." "I will miss you, Duck," said Bear, and he raised a paw to check the direction of the wind. "I will miss you too," said Duck, and off he flew. Bye, Duck. Bye. The sun was heavy and hung low in the sky. Bear's eyelids were getting heavy too. He counted colors to stay awake. 3 pink clouds, 2 red leaves, 1 green. "Frog, hello," said Bear. "Would you like to hear a story?" "I'm sorry, Bear, but it's almost winter and I have to find a warm place to sleep," said Frog. Ribbit. Bear dug a frog-sized hole between 2 evergreens, and then he tucked Frog under a blanket of leaves and pine needles. "Thank you, Bear," said Frog. "I'll see you in the spring." It's nice of him to help all his friends. Bear leaned against the old oak tree. He stretched, he scratched his belly. "I wonder if Mole is awake," he thought. But there's no leaves on that tree now. Oh, here we go again, another book that turns. "Mole, are you there, Mole?" But Mole was already asleep. "Good night, Mole," Bear said with a sigh. The first winter snowflakes began to fall. Where's Bear? Many months passed and the sun returned. It melted the snow and woke up the trees, and Bear rolled out onto the green grass. "It's spring," he said. "Now I can tell my story." But first, Bear brought Mouse an acorn. "Thank you, Bear," said Mouse. Mouse was hungry after a long winter. "Welcome home, Duck," called Bear. "You must be tired from your journey." And Bear showed Duck a shady mud puddle that he had found. Bear placed Frog in the sunshine until he was warm and awake. Frog opened one eye and then the other. "Good morning," said Bear. Bear, Mouse, Duck, and Frog waited all day for Mole to wake up. Finally, Mole poked his nose out into the moonlight. "Mole," cried Bear. Would you like to hear a story? Bear gathered his friends. He sat up straight and cleared his throat. He puffed out his chest, and with all of his friends listening, Bear could not remember his story. It was such a good story, he said, hanging his head. But winter is a very long time for a bear to remember. His friends sat together for a quiet moment. And then Mouse said, maybe your story is about a bear. And Duck said, well, maybe your story is about a busy time just before winter. Quack, quack. I think there should be other characters too, suggested Frog. Ribbit, ribbit. Like a mole, said Mole. A mole and a mouse and a duck and a frog. And Bear sat up straight again. He cleared his throat, puffed out his chest, and he began his story with, it was almost winter and Bear was getting sleepy. Do you know that? What's that called? What is that called when the animals go to sleep for the winter? Because not all our animals fly south. Do you remember what it's called? Hibernation. We'll see if we can get one more story in. What do you think? A Silly Snowy Day by Michael Coleman, and the pictures are by Gwyneth Williamson. And this is also a Scholastic book. I guess I have a lot of those Scholastic books. Ho hum, yawned Mr. Tortoise. Winter is here. So it is, yawned Mrs. Tortoise. Oh. Come on, Shelley. It's time for bed. But I don't feel sleepy yet, said Shelley. Oh, ridiculous, cried Mr. Tortoise. All tortoises go to sleep for the winter. Why? Asked Shelley. Because it's cold outside and there's no food. But I don't want to go to sleep, said Shelley. I want to see what winter is like. Ridiculous, cried Mr. and Mrs. Tortoise together. Who ever heard of a tortoise outside in the winter? Soon, Mr. Tortoise began to snore, and not long after, Mrs. Tortoise began to snore. And not long after that, Shelley left her warm loaf of bread, and she went out through a hole in the shed to see what winter was like. I don't think a tortoise would like the winter. It's too cold. Outside the shed, Shelley blinked. There was snow and ice everywhere, even on the duck pond and on the hill. As she lumbered by, a duck spotted her. A tortoise out in the winter, quacked the duck. Ridiculous! No, it isn't, said Shelley. Oh, no? Well, let's see you break through the ice to get food like I can. Ha ha, quack, quack, ha. Oh, he's right, thought Shelley. I can't do that. I don't have a beak. And Shelley began to walk up the hill where she met a dog. A tortoise out in the winter, barked the dog. Ridiculous. No, it isn't, said Shelley, feeling a little cross. Oh, no? Let's see how you keep warm by running around like I can. Ha ha, woof woof ha. Well, he's right, thought Shelley. I can't do that either. The dog ran off after a cat, but the cat climbed up a tree and she looked down at Shelley. A tortoise out in the winter, meowed the cat. What is that cat going to say? Ridiculous. No, it isn't, said Shelley, even more crossly. Oh, no? Then let's see you run into a nice warm house as quickly as I can. Ha ha, meow, meow, ha. Well, she is right, thought Shelley, shivering with the cold. I can't run like a dog or a cat. I'm just too slow. The cat ran off to her house before the dog could catch her, and Shelley trudged towards the top of the hill, where she met a bird. A tortoise out in the winter, cheeped the bird. Ridiculous. No, it is not, snapped Shelley. Oh, no? Then let's see you fly home and cuddle up with your family like I can. Ha ha, cheep, cheep, ha. Well, of course I can't fly, thought Shelley. I can't even hop. Shelley felt cold and miserable. She remembered her warm, cozy bed, and a tear trickled down her cheek. They're all right, she thought. A tortoise out in the winter is ridiculous. She was so sad that she didn't notice a big patch of ice up ahead. And she slipped on it, and she fell over backwards and began to slide down the hill. Oh, faster and faster she went. Faster than a dog could run, faster than the cat, until suddenly she hit a bump and flew into the air just like the bird. Whee! With a thump, Shelley landed on the icy duck pond and slid towards the hole in the shed. But it was all covered up with ice. Ha! Quack, quack! What did I say? Cried the duck as she slid past him. Where is your beak to break the ice with? I don't have a beak, thought Shelley. Oh, but I do have a shell. And tucking her head inside it, she broke through the ice, went into the shed, and she was home. Hearing all the noise, Mrs. Tortoise woke up. You haven't been outside, have you, Shelley? She asked. A tortoise out in the winter, said Shelley, snuggling into her bed. And before she could say ridiculous, she was asleep. Good night, Shelley. That is a silly snowy day, isn't it? All right, let's change our camera. There we go. Well, I hope you had fun listening to all those snow stories for our last January story time. We'll come back next month in February. Hopefully you signed up for a craft bag so you can join us on our crafting crew. We'll still be virtual in February. I hope everybody's well. I'll see you next month. Bye.